Hi, Year 3. Welcome back to Term 4 for Maths. Really looking forward to another few weeks of learning from home, doing our maths parts, but I'm also really looking forward to teaching it when we get back into the classroom. All right, there's been a couple of changes that I've made to the way we're going to do maths this term. The first one, they're only minor changes. The first one is that for the 5-minute frenzy, I'm only going to be putting that 10 by 10 grid into the packs for Monday, or in this case Tuesday, because we didn't have a Monday at school. And with those grids, I've also put in a recording sheet. So the idea is that you do the 5-minute frenzy on the Monday of every week, and you record your time in the recording sheet that I've put in. And your aim is to, if you haven't been completing all of the 100 times tables in that 5-minute time, your aim is to increase every week, to increase the number of times tables that you're getting correct in that out of that 100. Now, some of you have already been achieving the 100 in the 5 minutes, which is fantastic. So if that is you, your aim should be to try and reduce the amount of time that it takes you. So you're still doing the 100 times table, the 100 sets of times tables, but you're trying to do it in a faster time. So make sure you're recording that every Monday. Now, the other change that on the other days, Tuesday to Friday, I've also put in some, in the 5-minute frenzy, I've put in activities that will build strength in those times tables for you. Okay, the other change that I've made is that when I looked at how much work we've got to get through before the end of the year and the work that we have to do, it didn't work out. So I've had to introduce, for a couple of weeks, I've had to introduce an extra maths lesson. I've made it a short maths lesson on a Thursday afternoon. So on Thursday, you will have already have done the middle session of maths with the 5-minute frenzy, the ongoing practice, and the extension maths, as well as the lesson in your textbook. And on the Thursday afternoon, you'll just be doing the lesson in your textbook. So you won't need to be doing the 5-minute frenzy and the ongoing practice or extension. Okay, let's get started on our maths today. We're looking at dividing by 3. And if you know your multiplication times tables for 3, division is the opposite of multiplication. So let's get started with our first one. Imagine you make jumps of 3. Start at 0 and start at 21. How many jumps will you make? Okay, here's our first one. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. How many jumps will you make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now as we know, 3 times 7 is 21, or 21 in jumps of 3 means 7 jumps. So 21 divided by 3 equals 7. Let's go to our next one. Now we're making jumps of 5 starting at 30, going from 0 to 30. Okay, so we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. How many jumps will you make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that 30 divided by 5 equals 6, because we had 5 jumps. We had jumps of 5 and we made 6 jumps altogether. Now we're making jumps of 2 from 0 to 18. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 18 divided by 2 equals 9. Now we've got equal jumps from 0 to 15, but it doesn't say what our jumps are going to be. So, but they have to be equal jumps. Now 15 is an odd number, so it can't be jumps of 2. It could be jumps of 3. We did that. We would have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And the other one we could do would be jumps of 5. Okay, so then we would have 5, 10, 15, 15. So 3 jumps of 5 or 5 jumps of 3. 15 divided by 3 equals 5, or 15 divided by 5 equals 3. Okay, now we're going to have a look at another way of thinking about it. 18 dots in total, and we can see that they are in 3 rows, but we don't know how many going across, except that we know our times tables and we know that 3 times something equals 18. Let's look at what that looks like in our number sentence. 3 times something equals 18, or the other way of writing it in our numbers families are 18 divided by 3 equals something. Now, because we know our 3 times tables, we know that 3 times 6 equals 18, and 18 divided by 3 equals 6. Okay. Now when we go to our next one, $27 in total, and again we have 3 rows. How many will be in each row? Well, to change our number sentence, instead of 18, we'll have to make that 27, and 3 times something equals 27, and 27 divided by 3 equals what? Okay, if you don't know that 3 times something equals 27, the other way you can look at it is 3 times 10. We know that 3 times 10 equals 30, and now we only have, if we take away 3, we have got 1 less group, so that will be 9. 3 times 9 equals 27, and 27 divided by 3 equals 9. Okay. Looking at our next one, 15 dots in total. However, this time we've got 5 columns. How many will be in each column? So this time our question will be 5 times something equals 15, and 15 divided by 5 equals 3. And most of us are pretty good with our 5 times table, so we know that 5 times 3 equals 15, and 15 divided by 5 equals 3. All right, we have got one more to go. $24 dots in total, and you can see that we have got 3 columns. So again, we've got to change our number sentence. 3 times something equals 24, and 24 divided by 3 equals something. Okay, 3 times 8 equals 24, and 24 divided by 3 equals 8, because division is the opposite of multiplication. Okay, if 3 times 8, if we know through our multiplication that 3 times 8 equals 24, then we can work backwards with our division to say that 24 divided by 3 equals 8, and that 24 divided by 8 equals 3. or 3 columns with 8 in each column. Okay, let's now go to our step in problem. Bella is baking some cakes. She estimates the bag of flour holds 18 cups of flour. If each cake uses 3 cups of flour, how many cakes could she make? Okay, so we've got a couple of ways we can do this. The same as we did with our last problems. We could use a number line where we start at 0, or in this case we would start at 18, and we would make jumps of 3. So 18, going backwards, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, and 0. So there we have 0 to 18. Starting at 18, we went in groups of 3, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she could make 6 cakes with 18 cups of flour. The other way we could work it out is to do our is to use the arrays like we did in the other problem. We had a number line as well as using the arrays. So now we've got 3 here, 3 rows. How many in each row to make 18? We would have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And I didn't put those circles in to save time, but you can see there that we have got 3 rows with 6 in each row. So that's the other way of working it out. Okay. Our next problem, oh, here it is with our koala doing the problem 18, counting backwards by 3s until we get to 0, in which case there will be 6 jumps of 3 in each jump, or using our 18 dots like I just showed you. Okay, that's it for now. We'll just go quickly to look at what our page looks like. It's pretty much what we've just been looking at, where we've got the arrays that are covered over. We know that there are 15 dots in total, but we can only see that there are 3 rows. So you need to work out how many will be in each row. 3 times what equals 15, and 15 divided by 3 equals what? It will be the same number in both, because that's our number, that's our family. Over on the next page, we've got the same thing again. Now remember that all of these are working in groups of 3 because we're concentrating on our division facts for 3. So 3 times something equals 27, something times 3 equals 18, 3 times something equals 12, and something times 5 equals 15. Then we've got some word problems, and it's always good to think carefully about those word problems, making sure that you're doing the correct mathematical operation to fit in with what the problem asks you to do. In the step ahead, you're writing the missing numbers. 30 divided by 3 equals something, divided by 2, divided by something equals 5, and so on. Okay, that's it for the maths. You're doing pages 214 and 215 today, and the answers will be up for you tomorrow. Okay, bye everyone.